You may have seen a strange new phenomenon hitting the outskirts of fitness. People twirling a rope around their body, which at first glance can look kinda like a circus performance. But what has come to be known as rope flow is actually not a party trick at all. And it has some surprising benefits for your body. Trust me, I was skeptical in the beginning, but I've become very fond of the rope as I've seen my body's overall movement start to change. Here's the benefits that I've seen. The rope trains and improves the human body's main function, the ability to walk, aka locomotion. And until I picked up a rope, I never thought I needed or even could improve the way that I walk. But after just a few weeks of rope flow, the way that I walked and ran felt much better. And the rope naturally coordinates your arms and feet. Most of us don't realize how much walking, running, and jumping is a full body motion, often initiated by your arms. As I improved at the rope, my body felt more connected from foot to hand. And what connects it all is your spine. Using the rope is like training your core in the most natural way. The spine must move functionally through rotation. This can reduce the rigidity that most of us accumulate from sitting, heavy lifting, or just inactivity. Beyond the physical, the rope is just fun. And the more competent you become, the more likely you are to find yourself in flow. That can be anything from meditative to strategic. And one of the best parts is it's low impact. So it can be accessible for most people, whether an average Joe or an athlete. So think about it. Before modern technology, humans' main function was moving from A to B, locomotion through walking, running, or traversing. Doesn't it make sense that we could train ourselves to be better at it? Tim Sheaf from Way of the Rope introduced Strength Side to the rope last year. He's back to guide you through a few patterns so you can experience these benefits for yourself. Hey guys, before learning some patterns, this video is sponsored by AG1, and AG1 is a one-stop shop for vitamins, minerals, stress adaptogens, digestive support, and much more. Now, some of y'all know I recently had twin boys, so my life has been nothing but busy. With the added stress and less time to cook, I'm using AG1 for immune health and to boost my energy. AG1 gives me my full spectrum of vitamins and minerals, even if I'm missing them in my diet from ordering takeout a few too many times. For me, it's a part of my daily ritual. I get in here to Strength Side HQ, drop a scoop in with water, and sip it while I do some morning reading. And I definitely get a nice boost of energy to go about training and making videos. You can head to my link in the description below to get a free 1-year supply of AG vitamin D3, plus 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase of AG1. Back to the rope.
Hey there, Strength Side fam. Tim here from Way of the Rope, and today I'm going to take you through the 2 most fundamental patterns of rope flow that you don't even need a rope flow rope like Josh has got to do. You could do it with a dog lead, or what most of you might already have, a resistance band like this. You're just going to hold it with 2 hands to one side, and you're going to swing it in this overhand motion like so. So as it's swinging past your leg, it should be kind of going from toe to heel, and just get a feel for the object that you're swinging, bob with it, because the difference with this and jump rope is as the rope comes down, the legs come up and the body kind of compresses, whereas with this, we want to teach the legs and the arms to sink and rise as one system, one unit. To evolve from this, as the rope's coming down on one swing, you're just going to chop it over to the other side of the body, kind of like rowing a kayak. This pattern also relates to throwing as well. So a few swings on each side until you feel confident to just go back and forth, and we call this the figure of 8 because it's kind of like tracing the infinity symbol with our whole torso, with our wrists, with our shoulders, with our spine, and you can see how the thumbs kind of lead in the action. So that's the overhand 8. Let's reverse that now, and the pattern that relates the most to locomotion, the underhand 8. So the rope's kind of coming up and under into our eye line.
If I have trouble getting underhand, I think that I'm throwing a ball underhand here, and that can kind of get your arm to go in the right direction from the start.
As the rope comes up, one revolution, you're going to move it to the other side of your body and then try to catch it, continuing in the underhand motion. But for some people, you might want to just imagine both arms like sculling like this and then pass the rope over. And once again, a few swings on each side, get both hands involved, and then when you feel confident, you're just going to go back and forth, side to side. What can we do from here, Josh?
So this one you'll see relates so much to traveling, to walking, right? So we can walk with it, and you're trying to really just coordinate that rope to fall in line with your strides and shifting weight back and forth.
Some additional magic of the rope is when we learn to connect both patterns without stopping the rope swinging. Back to the first pattern, the overhand. You're just gonna put it on your left hip, continue to swing it, turn your hips, your feet, your head 90 degrees, then turn another 90 degrees away, and you'll see now I'm in that underhand pattern. And you can reverse that back out, turn, turn. So without forcing the rope to change direction, I've just turned my body and I've continued to flow with it.
So for me, this is when the rope started to begin to get really fun, because in the beginning you're just kind of doing an exercise here, but then once we can link and then get in the opposite direction, you start to find some nice flow here, which for me, like Tim said, is part of the magic of the rope.
So not only are we learning to shift our weight using our spine when we're working in a straight line locomotively, but also if we're changing direction, we want to cut and change. The transition from overhand to underhand will teach us to become efficient just over repetitions. You don't need cueing, you don't need specific directions. Just do this over and over. There's so much for your body to learn from that. So those are the first two patterns we teach everyone that's new to rope flow. The third pattern, Josh is already demoing. What's that?
I know you guys are looking at me like, oh, I want to learn that one. This is when we get really fun, when the rope's hitting on both sides of the body here. And me and Tim did a tutorial on the dragon roll, and you can find it on his channel. We're gonna link it on the screen and in the description. Check it out. The great thing about the rope is it requires no warm-up, so there's many moments where you can fit it into your day. One of my favorite times to use the rope is out in nature, to go to a park or when I'm on a hike in the woods. You can use it for a warm-up for your training session or as a movement snack throughout your day. And another really efficient time to use the rope is between sets of strength work. This way I can alternate between stiffening my spine and then moving my spine through my core.
For most, the rope may be best used as a supplemental practice to complement all your other training. For the runner or sports athlete, the rope will help improve your weight shifting and balance from foot to foot as you go, which will help to increase your body's efficiency at moving forward in space. But for those of you who are maybe a little less active, well, the rope is a fun way to work more movement into your life in a way that doesn't feel like hard work. I've experimented with so many different movement practices throughout my life, and nothing has stuck with me the way rope flow has. It's a really unique, beautiful practice, and I know you might feel the same way if you give it a go.
So if you feel inspired by this video about the rope, we encourage you to check out David Weck Method. He actually created rope flow. I originally did 8 weeks to fluidity on wayoftherope.com. That's Tim's course. If you feel inspired, check it out. You could also get yourself a nice rope there. Drop a comment below, let us know what you think of rope flow, and like this video, subscribe to Strength Side. We'll see you in the next one.